Okay, here's how I worked out Lady Madonna. And then just repeats about 3 times, and here's the ending. Okay, so I worked it out like that, and then I looked at YouTube and saw a few other people do it a little differently, but I think that we got the basic song right. So this is obviously a little harder than the You'll Be Back from the last lesson, but first question is what key is it in, and I just want you to have the recording, listen to the recording about 10 times, have the recording playing, and then just start playing these basic chords. First thing you can tell, it's a happy, bright Paul McCartney Beatles song, so it's always going to be a major key. So is it a C? No. D? No. E? No. F? No. Lady? No. That just sounds right. Lady Madonna. You can sort of sing it to yourself, okay? And then, obviously, if you learn it in the wrong key, I guess that's okay as long as you're consistent. But I'm sure it's an A. And if it's an A, a little trick to figure out these notes and to plunk them out is just play the major scale to yourself. A lot of the basic arrangements are going to be just using these major notes here. So on the right hand, you can hear a, and just have to plunk that out. Is it? No, that just doesn't, that sounds wrong. So, and if you want to put this little grace note from the C to the C sharp. Okay, C sharp, B, A. And to fatten it up, I'm playing this A here. And then the left hand, I can hear A, C sharp, D. But he's actually playing it like a rolling octave here, I think. So it's... And then it just keeps going from A, C sharp, to D, to E, F, G, A. And there's no substitute to just hearing the recording and plunking it out and saying, does it go? No, that's wrong. Even though you would think it would be right, it's just not the recording. The recording is... And this is just a real valuable, I think, technique to do this pinky here, thumb here. If you're at least 5'4" or so, you should be able to make the whole octave. And then you can use it for your boogie woogie, or making up your own on a blues scale here. Okay, so putting them together obviously is hard, but you just got to practice the left hand till you know it perfectly, and you don't have to think about it, and then go real slow. Okay, that's how I figured out how to do that. The next step is it sort of echoes the vocal line where he's doing in the left hand I'm hearing, so here you're going from A, B, C, D, G, and this is the way he sings it. Tuesday afternoon is never ending. Okay, and then in the left hand I hear it in D. When it's going downwards, you hear a... So start at the D, and just one note down to the G. And if you can't figure out where to start, just play the chord. Is it Tuesday afternoon, never ending? It just sounds right. So D. And then the next part, I'm forming a C in my hand, a C chord, and I'm hearing it at the C. So this goes from the C down to the G, back to the A, B, C, and E. And there's no substitute, just play it, fool around with it, and then you have to realize that it skips this D. It doesn't do. That's wrong. It goes up to the E. Okay? And you just have to do it by trial and error, I think. Okay? And so it repeats a couple times, and then it's just this basic C, some sort of B, and then some sort of inverted E. And that same thing, you just have to figure out the chords on yourself. Okay, whatever works for you. So E. Okay, let's go to the ending. When you hear the little da 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 da, there's two things you can hear, two tones. Listen to the high tone, listen to the low tone. The high tone is playing something like C sharp. And you can fatten it up by putting your thumb and pinky on the A. The low tone I'm hearing A, so putting it and fatten it up by playing the whole octave, and then play it all together. And the last thing I like to do is just run up the blues scale, the A minor blues scale, which basically is like, song's over, get out of here, kids. All right? So basically, as a process of trying to figure this out, the key, start with figuring out the key it's in. Hear the most important notes, or later. And try to just add your own thing. If it's an A, you can add the A. So these various tricks may help you be able to learn it faster. It took me a while to figure this out, and I was very happy to see other people on YouTube had shown it very similarly. Obviously, they can play it better and cleaner. Okay, well, good luck.